Please tell me you know the song, Kelly.
I do know this song. One of 4 songs I've known all year.
One of the most beautiful songs ever written. This was by request. One of our listeners asked for Simple Man, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, but I like country music, so...
Yeah, this show ain't about you, Kelly.
What if I want it to be?
And, Kel, this could be country music.
I know, that's what I said. It is country music.
I consider it Southern rock.
Southern rock. Don't you think, like, I'll play some country music for you that's also Southern rock.
It's the presidential NFL address. We're going to take every game apart today, top to bottom, every side, every total. And remember, everyone, these are only our opinions, not our actual bets.
Yeah, so nobody freak out.
Don't
It's Tuesday.
Too fast.
It's Tuesday. Just remember.
Kel, how did you do this week?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Why not?
It's worth it. Fucking terrible. That's how bad it was. It wasn't just terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Kel, how did I do on this video, last week's video?
Really good.
13-5 in all my sides and totals on this video. 13-5.
Really good.
You're really not listening to me.
I am listening to you, but I'm like you. I'm really selfish and I'm really mad. I had another 2-3 week in the NFL. It was brutal.
I went 3-1 in my bets. I went 3-0 on Sunday.
I'm seeing if I have big traps. Sorry. Now I'm like self-conscious because the guy gave me...
Well, we spoke about that on our question and answer video, which you guys really need to watch. It's really funny. We even talk about favorite sex positions, don't we? Okay, you snorted, Kelly.
I always snort.
Okay.
When something's really funny, I snort.
Okay, let's get to the show. We're going to keep these shows under 40 minutes. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about first. So let's just quickly recap. I went 13-5 in my video picks last week. In my bets, I went 3-0 on Sunday. I took Carolina, I took Minnesota, and I took under the total in the Houston game. However, I did lose last night. I took under in the Tennessee-Dallas game, and
turnovers will do that to you. God, that was an ugly game. I turned it off. I didn't have any action on it.
Yeah, it bugged me. I mean, I can't stand losing, Kelly. Like it doesn't sit well with me, and especially given that we had a lot of customers buy my place yesterday, and I'm reeling over that loss. I actually felt it was an under all the way. I mean, I felt the whole game played to the under, but that's what happens when we started off with a turnover that ended up at 7 points. And we ended on a turnover that put Tennessee to 28. These things happen, but still, what an NFL season I'm having, Kelly. I'm 22-12 on the year, which is ridiculously good. And we do have a promo for everybody today, and I want to thank all the people last week. We offered my full year for $750, but we only offered it to 3 people, and it was gone within 24 hours. This week, we're going to do the first 10 people. We're going to offer my entire NFL season and playoffs for $299. You go to wagertalk.com and use the promo code Prez NFL 299. That's Prez NFL 299. Once we get 10 people, we're going to shut it off. So make sure to get to it. And we are being really honest about this. We're only going to do this with the first 10 people, Kelly. We do have another promo a little later in the show that we'll discuss. But yeah, I mean, what an NFL season I'm having. 22-12. I've had one losing week, and it was an 0-3 week a few weeks ago. And boy, did I ever bounce back from that. You know, I'm on a 20-8 run. My totals are, I think, 9-3 on the year. My sides are rocking. I just feel really, really good about this season, and I'm zoned in on some certain teams, which we're going to discuss today. In regards to my teaser bet that I put out at uwager.eu every week, I couldn't find a teaser this week, Kelly, so my apologies to everybody. No teaser this week.
This past week, you might have one for this week, right?
Yeah,
okay.
No teaser this past week, but I will tweet out whether I can find one or can't find one in the next couple of days. So make sure to join my Twitter account, Prez Wager Talk. As well, college basketball starts, and last year I went 61% in the college basketball season. So I'm super pumped about college hoops right now. And I just want to say one last thing before we get into the show, and that is starting on Monday, this coming Monday, I will be doing a daily 20-minute show at wagertalk.com and on our YouTube channel. It'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday every day. So make sure to check in on it. I'm going to have guests. We're going to do free picks. We're going to talk about what's going on in sports. And also we're going to talk about what's going on at Wager Talk. We'll have promos every single day for you guys. So really, that's it for me, Kel. I now hand the show over to you, and I will follow your lead.
All right.
Wait, one more. Show us your pecs one more time.
Not my pecs. That guy said they get too big from doing CrossFit. I think he's right. That bothers me now. And now I'm like, okay, great. Now I just have to go run on a treadmill for like 6 months.
Kel, it's a gorgeous shirt you're wearing.
It's just, I love this tank top.
Okay, well, I'm glad you find that funny.
Didn't know if you were being honest.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I'm being completely honest.
It's called a muscle tank, so you can show off your muscles.
Okay. Well, we also had a lot of requests for your roommate, Blakely, to make an appearance.
I texted her. I said, hey, can you come join us? And this is the response I got. I said, hey, Prez would like you to come say hi on the show. And she goes, well, I need to do my hair and makeup first. And right now I have pot leaves all over my shirt.
Yeah, there seems to be a genuine theme in this show about edibles and pot, etc., etc. Let's get into NFL football, shall we? Take it away, Cal.
All right, Thursday night. Both of these teams helped me save a little face, as I mentioned. I went 2-3. Ugh, God. Anyway, I need to get over this hump. But that being said, Carolina total 51.5. Catching 4 points at Pittsburgh. I know you hate trends, but Cam Newton is a great underdog. 13-5 against the spread. I'm going to be all over the Panthers.
Okay, so before I get into this game really quickly, I really hope the sound is right this week. I had a technician come over. We're not going to quit on the sound, guys. So please bear with us. We are going to keep working at it until the sound is perfect. So yeah, thank you for all the negative comments about the sound. It's greatly appreciated.
Prez has some aneurysms via email between me and Johnny Detroit. It's pretty fun.
Kel, listen, let me get into this game really quickly, and now I'm done. Why am I done? Because, Kelly, I have a 5-unit play on this Thursday night game. It's those are my highest rated plays that I put out at Wager Talk. WagerTalk.com. We don't offer game of the years at this website because we don't believe in them. We want our customers to grind them out. But I'm telling you flat out, this is my favorite play so far this season. So I'm not actually going to discuss this game at all on this show. But I will tell you a couple of quick things. I have bet on or against or the over or the under on 6 Carolina games this year, and I have won every single one of them. I am so completely zoned in on this football team. It is ridiculous. So I have another big bet for this Thursday. It's $30 at wagertalk.com. For all of you listeners, get it for $15. Use the promo code PrezNFL15. That's PrezNFL15. But I'm actually not going to give out any thoughts on this game whatsoever.
Okay. Are you keeping track of time, or am I supposed to be keeping track of time?
I'm keeping track of time, Kel.
Okay, good. Just double checking because I don't want to get yelled at by Johnny. All right. Buffalo. Good God, Buffalo. Why doesn't this team just quit? Okay. Buffalo at New York. 7s in a lot of spots, 7.5s. Total 36.5 here. Buffalo, I thought, had a chance to get that backdoor cover, and they kept it fairly close with the good old New England Patriots Monday night, and then just to turn around Nathan Peterman. Good God. I can't bet on this team. I just can't. So are you just supposed to bet against them every week?
Listen, I mean, obviously last week one of my 5 losses was, suggesting Buffalo was the play. And I got a lot of slack in the comment section for doing that. Kelly, I can't take the side here. I mean, the bottom line is Buffalo is a disaster, but the New York Jets, and I said this to you last week when I took Miami, they just don't deserve our money right now. They're not a very good football team either, and -7 plus the hook. I can't take the side. Kel, really, the play here is the under. I know it's 37 and it's a super low number, but Buffalo is averaging 10.7 points a game. They're 9 games into the season, and they are averaging under 11 points a game. The New York Jets are averaging 22 points, and that includes their 400 points that they put up in week 1 against Detroit. So both of these teams are playing to the stone cold under every single weekend. And I'm going to keep to that trend and take under the total in this football game.
All right. A game that, God, just perplexes the hell out of me here. The Browns. And I know the sharp guys are going to go back and bet the Browns again here. Catching 4 at home versus Atlanta. You have Matt Ryan, though, who's putting up MVP numbers last week versus the Redskins. I can't bet the Cleveland Browns. They lack discipline. Terrible coaching calls. How many 2-point conversions do you go for? I don't care that their kicker can't kick PATs. You are a National Football League team. There are kids that play soccer. I watch guys on Instagram that can kick freaking PATs day in and day out. Make it happen. I don't know what to do with this game.
Well, I mean, we all know where I'm going on this game, and I went on to Atlanta last week, and they covered in Washington, and they covered easily. And Kelly, why should we think that, after going to Washington and playing what is considered a pretty good defense and being able to move the ball up and down the field, why should we think that they can't do the same in Cleveland? Atlanta is in a real tough division, and they're fighting for a wild card spot. And I honestly think that they have to win these football games. They're playing Cleveland. Cleveland, for all intents and purposes, sucks. Atlanta is averaging over 4 touchdowns a game, scoring-wise. I'm all over Atlanta here, Kelly, at -4 on the road. And I also like the over a lot. It's 51 points. Cleveland is averaging 21 points a game. But Atlanta's defense is really bad, so I can see that going up by about 7 points. So I actually think this game has 35-24, 35-28 written all over it. I'm taking the Falcons again, and I'm taking over the total.
All right, I'm curious to see who you're going to be on here. So New Orleans now -4.5 at Cincinnati. This one's headed to 5. I bet we see this one close at 6. So if you like the Bengals, hang tight. And I don't know how you can like the Bengals. Andy Dalton missing AJ Green, his best weapon. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to respond to this New Orleans Saints offense. Drew Brees has been phenomenal. And the Cincinnati defense is allowing more yards in defense than any team in NFL history up to this point, up until week 10 of NFL. They are absolutely horrific. I don't know. I hate this card.
So Kelly, I mean, think about what you just said. The Cincinnati defense is horrific. New Orleans is literally averaging 35 points a game. There's no reason to think they're not going to be able to put up their average against the worst defense in football. So, and Cincinnati is, top 10 team offensively as well, and they play well at home, and they've got weapons here, Kelly. I lean on Cincinnati here. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than most people think. I think New Orleans, and I know we don't talk about letdown games because I'm not really a big fan of them, but the bottom line is they just came off of an emotional and crucial football game last week against the Rams. I think they will be a little slow out of the gate against Cincinnati. I'm going to lean on Cincinnati, Kelly, but I think the play here is over the total of 54. Unless Mother Nature gets involved, I can't see this game being under 60 points.
Yeah, I definitely know the sharp guys are going to be on the Bengals. I look at that going, oh my God. All right, Washington, as you mentioned, good call on the Falcons last week. I did not touch the game, but Washington had been playing well there for a little while. Total 52 in some spots. Lots of threes, 2.5s around town if you want to lay some points with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bucks.
Well, the opening line here was Tampa Bay -1, and it's now moved to -3, which is a large move, Kel. There's clearly a ton of money coming in on Tampa Bay, and I agree with it. I've been telling you all year on every show that Washington is not really a great football team. They just lack star power and they lack weapons. I got in trouble last week for saying, oh, well, Atlanta's going to cover against Washington. I don't really like Washington's defense. And some guy pointed out, oh, Prez doesn't give Washington's defense any credit. Well, you know what? Atlanta throttled them. Washington's defense is letting in over 21 points a game right now. And Tampa Bay is one of the highest scoring teams in football. I mean, they're averaging over 4 touchdowns a game. They're at home, Tampa Bay, and they really played well last week offensively. They made an outstanding attempt at a comeback against Carolina, and we were on Carolina. So, for me, I like Tampa Bay in this football game. I like Tampa Bay minus the 3 points. And I do lean on over the total of 51.5, but I really think the play here are the Bucks. I think it's fade Washington time from here on in.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Okay, Tennessee, man. So I don't know if a lot of our listeners know, but I do a Monday Night Football show now. Super exciting stuff. And I had lots of bad things to say about Marcus Mariota and how do you back a quarterback who has more interceptions the past 2 seasons than he does touchdown passes. Of course, you just play the Dallas Cowboys. That's how you get out of your slump. New England now 6.5 on the road at Tennessee. Total 46.5. Wait, I don't know. I'm trying not to step in front of this Patriots freight train, and I considered the Packers Sunday night, but the way that the bloodbath had been going with the favorites, I ended up teasing it, and it didn't matter. New England absolutely crushed Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say crushed, Kelly. The game was super close.
But they just kept shutting them down, and
yeah, the fumble by Aaron Jones was really a crucial moment in that football game. It really didn't give Aaron Rodgers a chance to make a comeback. Kelly, my opinion of New England, but here's the interesting thing, Kelly. We see this every year with the Patriots. I mean, are they one of the best teams in football? Yes. Are they the best team in football? Probably not this year, but they're certainly damn close. But every year, no matter how good New England is, there's always 2 or 3 games where they do lay an egg. And the interesting thing about this game is Tennessee's defense is so good. And they're playing at home. They've got Houston 2 games ahead of them in the standings. I don't bet against Tom Brady, and I'm not going to lay any money on this game. But my lean here, Kelly, is actually on the Titans. And I would wait till the last second to get this game in because it's +6.5 now, but I'm telling you this game is going to be +7. And as far as the over and under goes at 46.5, this is one of those simple games where you got a New England team that scores at will and a Tennessee team that can't score at all. I can't play over or under here. My play on this game is the Titans.
All right. We just talked about the Packers briefly there. Now 9.5-point favorites at home. Total 47.5. October is over, but it's still Brocktober for the Miami Dolphins. They did get the win. Again, I think that was more of a fade. We should have faded the Jets as opposed to bet Miami there. But they did look
That's
fairly...
exactly what I said last week.
Right.
If you listened to the video last week, I said I'm not betting on Miami -3. I'm betting against the Jets at +3. Yeah, this is a tough football game, Kelly, because I think Green Bay literally has to win this game, and I think everybody can assume they will win this football game. The only question now is, will they win this game by more than 9.5?
Okay, so is this a team that might make your teaser?
No, it's a team that will make my teaser.
Okay.
For 100% Green Bay is going to be in my teaser because they're going to win this football game. I'm going to lean on Green Bay minus the 10 here. I think we're going to get Green Bay's best effort of the year this year. Green Bay pisses me off, though. I was talking to Teddy last night about it. Just to hijack the show really quickly, I mean, there's no worse coach in football than Jason Garrett, but there is no worse general manager in the world of sports than Ted Thompson. I mean, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I would be so pissed off. I mean, you look at teams like, the Chargers with, Ingram and Bosa, and you look at Houston with Watt and Clowney, and you look at Denver with Chubb and Miller, and you look at the Rams with Sue and Donald. You can't name a pass rusher of substance on Green Bay in the last 5 years. You can't name a running back of substance on that team in the last 5 years.
Well, even Clay Matthews, as soon as he tries to make a big play, it seems like they throw a flag. I mean,
yeah, regardless of the flag, it's not like Clay Matthews is some kind of expert pass rusher.
He's definitely not a pass rusher by any means. I just mean he's still probably one of their best defensive players.
Yeah, which goes to my point of how pathetic Ted. My question about Green Bay is, and listeners, let me know, are they invited to the draft? Like, do they draft?
I can't think of somebody that they drafted recently. No.
No, is that not? I mean, do they start at like round 10 because Aaron Rodgers, they have to forfeit the first 9 rounds? This team is so badly built, it is ridiculous. They have the most talented quarterback, not the best quarterback, but the most talented, natural, skilled quarterback maybe in history. They can't give him great wide receivers. They have no running backs. Their best tight end is a 50-year-old Jimmy Graham in the last 5 years.
50-year-old Jimmy Graham.
They have no pass rushers. Blake Martinez is their stopgap running inside linebacker. This team is a joke. But with that said, Aaron Rodgers is a god. He is like the Kate Upton chest of football. So I'm going to take Green Bay in this game, minus the 10 points.
All right. Jacksonville. God, what has happened to this Jacksonville team? What a fall this past, I don't even know, 5 weeks now? Is it 5 weeks in a row they've lost? Something like that. Anyway.
Since New England.
Yeah, now catching 3 on the road at the Indianapolis Colts, who has looked a little bit better over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, they were on a bye last week. It's always good news because you can't lose a game. 2.5, 3 plus 100, total 47.
Not to correct you, Kelly, but Indianapolis is a pronoun. It's have, not has. But I understand your Americanisms.
You love my American English.
So we will get past that. Listen, here's the bottom line for me. It's time to jump on the Jaguar trade. I think.
Yeah, it's like how you say Jaguar. How do you say it?
Jaguar.
By the way, did you see the Twitter poll? I definitely won that.
Okay. Kel, I'm all over the Jags in this game. I think they have no choice but to turn their season around. They've got big hopes right now. They got a great coach. Their defense is still rock solid. And they basically have to win this football game. This is their season right now. They've had a couple of weeks to prepare for this football game, as has the Colts. But I just don't think the Colts are in their league. I think the Jaguars at +3 might be one of the best bets of the weekend.
All right, Detroit at Chicago catching 6.5, total 45. We were both on the Vikings last week. That ended up being very profitable, thank God, to save a little bit of my bankroll. I'm not sure Mitchell Trubisky should be laying 6.5 here. I mean, last week against the Bills is one thing, but in a divisional game here against the Lions, we talk about must-win games. This Lions team's got to do something. 3-5 right now in the season.
I mean, listen, they actually don't have to do anything, Kelly. They gave their year away when they traded Golden Tate. And I think we spoke about this last week. I actually made an argument on how if you trade an important piece at this time of the year, the rest of the team gets extremely deflated. And if you go back and you look, Denver traded DT and lost. Green Bay traded Clinton Dix and lost. Detroit traded Golden Tate and lost. I see no reason for Detroit to come into this game with any high hopes of putting the season together. They absolutely looked awful last week. Their offensive line is a complete mess. Do I want to lay 6.5 with Chicago? Not really, but I like this spot with Chicago. And look, they're at the top of the division, and they've got to keep pace. They're going to have Minnesota coming after them. And we assume Green Bay will win against Miami this week, so they're only going to be one game behind Chicago. Chicago needs to win this football game more than Detroit because I think Detroit has called it a year. So I'm going to take Chicago at -6.5. But Kelly, I also like under the total of 45 points. That Chicago defense is rock solid, and I just don't believe in Detroit's offense. So I'm going to play under the total, and I'm going to play the Bears.
All right. Huge chalk in this one, of course. Arizona at Kansas City, 16.5. 17's -105. If you want to get extra points with Josh Rosen, why you would want to do that, I don't know. I had a tweet last night, and I said to somebody, I don't bet bad teams. And sometimes to start the year.
I wonder where you got that from, Kelly.
Okay, first of all, I have been known to bet bad teams, but not at the beginning of the season is one thing, but not now. Kansas City, I'm just not. I'm not laying 2.5 touchdowns with Kansas City. I'm not.
Speaking about laying, guys, make sure to watch our question and answer video. It's up at Wager Talk on our YouTube channel. We do discuss favorite sex positions. I think that should definitely, that's our sales pitch, Kel. We discuss.
I can't. I mean, whatever. You just put me on the spot. You love to put me on the spot. Okay, so here's the question: is this a stay away game? Or are you laying massive amounts of chalk with Kansas City?
Well, look, I'm not going to bet this game in either direction. It's likely going to show up in my teaser.
Okay.
You can't bet the total here because Arizona is just struggling to score. So you can't really bet over the total because you can't count on Arizona to put up points. And you can't bet under the total because, well, KC could easily put 45 up themselves. Listen, if a gun's held to my head, I'm taking Kansas City minus the 16.5. That's the bottom line here. But it's just a game where I feel like, is Kansas City really going to give their best in this game? I mean, I think they're going to be up 28-3 in the first half and come out and run this football. It's going to be one of those.
Plus, they have a bye next week, don't they? Sorry, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but I believe they do.
They do not have a bye next week.
Okay, who do they play next week?
I don't know, but their bye is in week 12 because I have half their team in my fantasy football. So I am fully up on when Kansas City's bye is.
All of my entire bench is on a bye this week. Okay. Oh, they play the Rams next week at Los Angeles. Sorry. So we don't talk about look ahead spots very often in the NFL, but that is something to consider. How much motivation is Kansas City going to have here against this Arizona team when they have basically a team they could be facing in the Super Bowl on deck?
Well, yeah, and not only that, but I was just saying, this is like one of those college football games, like when Alabama is favored by 34 and they're up, 28-0 at halftime, and then they come out and just run the ball to death and barely cover. That's what this game says to me. I can't lay such heavy points, but KC is so much better than Arizona. This game, it's so lopsided, it's ridiculous. I'm going to stay away from this game, but I do lean towards Kansas City.
All right. The Chargers, you were right about the Chargers. I was on Seattle.
Of course I was right about the Chargers, Kelly.
I was on Seattle, whatever.
Yeah, because you don't listen to me.
Listen, Linda. Okay, so the Chargers, 9.5 at Oakland, total 50.5. The Raiders are terrible, and I've been telling people this for weeks. If you could just fade the Raiders, are good. So that helps a little bit. I had the Niners on Thursday night when it hit 1.5. I go, wait, you're going to give me 3.5, 4.5 points of value with some kid from Southern Miss? Okay, I'll take it. And that was about the only NFL winner I had this week.
Yeah, well, listen. Everybody knows my opinion on the Chargers. I think they're one of the best teams in football. They're absolutely loaded with talent. I can't wait for Joey Bosa to come back because, well, he's my DL in my fantasy. Now I'm like starting Carlos Dunlop. But anyway, Cincinnati Bengals, in case you didn't know. The Chargers here, I cannot lay -10. But Kelly, there's an interesting stat out there, and I don't know the exact number. But over the years, and we're talking about many, many, many years, home teams that are +10 or more, the under in that football game is in the 80% mark. And I look again here at the under as well. You don't get these spots very often with unders, with home teams at +10. And now we've got a big number at 50.5. I think Oakland is really going to struggle to score, and I think the Chargers will go up quickly, and like Kansas City, will lean heavily on the run in the second half. I think the play here is under the total of 50.5, and I can easily see the Chargers making my 3-team 10-point teaser.
Yeah, why not? That makes sense to me. Okay, let's talk about Seattle. Ugh, God, Seattle. Catching 10 now at the Rams. Total of 51.5. There's a 50.5 out there that just popped up. I'm not really sure. Somebody likes the under. Prez, God, you mentioned it with Seattle last week. You hit the nail on the head. Do the Rams have a bounce back game here? But like we mentioned, this is a divisional game for them, but they have the Chiefs on deck.
Yeah, look, do I think the Rams do I think they'll win this football game? Absolutely. Again, similar to Green Bay. Will they show up in my teaser? Of course they will. With that said, I'm not going to take the Rams in the spot. Seattle's been playing decent football of late. And Russell Wilson threw a pick six last week that turned the game. And I think he's only thrown maybe 5 pick sixes in his entire career. Very, very rare thing for him to do. And as we saw with New Orleans, they were able to move the ball up and down on the Rams in the first half. And I think Pete Carroll is a good enough coach to notice what their tendencies, New Orleans' tendencies was. I think the play here is the stone cold over, Kelly. 51.5 points. Do I think Seattle's defense is good? Yes, I think they're good. But look, the Chargers in Seattle missed a field goal and 3 extra points. That would have given them 2 extra points. That would have given them 30 points. So if the Chargers can go into Seattle and put up 30, surely the Rams at home can put up more than 30. And I think Seattle will be able to keep pace to some extent. This game is going to fall somewhere between the Rams winning by 7 and 14. So rather than taking the side, I want to take the sure winner here, and I'm going to lay money, my personal money, on over the total of 51.5 points.
All right. I didn't look this morning. Does Jason Garrett still have a job?
Well, of course he does, because he's Jerry Jones's yes man.
I know. It's terrible. There was a tweet I saw yesterday. It was like, I just wish I could have a private cam of Jason Garrett to Jerry Jones, like throughout the game, just looking at it. Because
they even kind of look the same. They both have this, like...
Maybe it's like his love child or something.
Yeah, they're like, they both have this, like, incredible pastiness about them.
Incredible pastiness.
Yes. Well, don't they? I mean, they both look
That's
like
very
never
true.
seen the sun.
Yeah. Well, definitely Jason Garrett's a ginger, so...
Yeah, well, and who knows what Jerry Jones is? We only met the guy when he turned 80. Now he's 110. So that guy could have been a ginger for all we know, too. The play here is Philadelphia, for sure, 100%. Dallas is a mess. Dak Prescott is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, go ahead, Dallas fans. Put up your comments. Start picking on me. Tell me how good Dak Prescott is. Really?
Yeah, Dak. Good God.
This Dallas team was in a must-win game against Tennessee and couldn't do a damn thing. And I don't know if you watched that game, Kelly, but in the first quarter...
I watched the first half.
He missed a wide open... I mean, it would have been called back on a flag, but that's irrelevant. He missed a wide open wide receiver for a touchdown.
He's not the only problem, though. I mean, they get rid of Dan Bailey, and now they got this kid that can't kick a field goal.
Kelly... Field goal, Dak Prescott, all of that aside, the biggest problem, period, is they don't give the damn ball to Zeke. 6 times in the second half? I mean, this is not rocket science here. You're one of the best players in all of football, and you keep the ball out.
Yeah, why don't you run? You're right. Why draft Zeke if you're not going to utilize him?
Like it's a total joke. And I think Philadelphia has turned their season around, and I think Philadelphia is a team to bet right now. So, sure. Do we expect it to be -3 because all of these NFCs division games are -3? Of course. But with that said, Dallas is a disaster. Bottom 5 team in all of football. Philadelphia is the Super Bowl champs. Carson Wentz is fully healthy. They just added Golden Tate. Talk about their weapons, Kelly. And if Sproles comes back, they're going to have that beautiful wheel route. Philadelphia is the team here. -6.5 is the bet. And I do lean slightly on the over, but I'm all over the Eagles.
All right. Yeah, I got to agree with you there. There's no chance I'm betting the Dallas Cowboys here. Okay. Whoever scheduled this Monday night game must have been, real excited for this one. New York Giants at San Francisco. San Francisco, 3-point favorite. Uh-oh, Nick Mullins over Eli Manning, this is funny to me. Total 44. I don't even think I'm going to watch this game.
Well, I'm going to watch this game, Kel, because, I'm addicted to football. And
I'm addicted too, but not to ugly football.
I want you to know, Kelly, that I actually watch every single football game. So I tape a bunch of them. I watch 4 at one time in the early games. I watch 3 in the late games because I have a bank of TVs in my living room. And then I go back and I watch the games that I missed on tape. And then I study the drive charts because for me, the drive charts is really, really crucial in my betting. So obviously I'll watch this game as well. And Kelly, I'm telling you flat out, San Fran is the play here. Like -3, I know they're 2-7 on the year, but the Giants are a complete and total disaster. We've seen 2 good efforts from San Fran. I told you last week San Fran was going to win handily, and they did. And I'm taking San Fran here at -3 points.
All right, good stuff from Prez. Prez, give everybody your promo code one more time. Tell them what the deal is. I know you're giving out 10 coupons this week for your NFL plays through the Super Bowl. That gives you basically 10 more weeks of NFL through the playoffs. Giving everybody everything.
So it's $2.99 for my NFL season and playoffs. For the first 10 people, you go to wagertalk.com, use the promo code PRESNFL299. We're going to cut it off as soon as we have 10 purchases. As well, I've got a 5-unit play on the Thursday night matchup. A matchup that everybody's going to watch too, Kelly. I mean, the Steelers are rocking.
It's going to be a great game.
Carolina is doing incredible. It's going to be probably the best Thursday night game of the year. I've got a 5-unit play on it. It's regularly $30. It's $15 to everybody. Use the promo code PRESNFL15 for that. And make sure, guys, to watch our question and answers video. And remember, starting on Monday, I will be doing a half-an-hour video every week. Every day. It'll be a 20-minute video every day. And I'll be having guests. It should be a fun show. And Kelly, just want to leave you with one last thing before we start our music. I just finished season 3 of Daredevil. It is a total masterpiece. It is like the Tom Brady of television. It is so good. I have no words to describe the grippingness of that show. It's like,
I'll have to check it out. I haven't even watched it.
Cal, I want to dedicate the song to my woman, Viv, her favorite band, Pearl Jam. So let's end this show with some really good music. Another request by one of our listeners. Guys, make sure to put up your comments. I answer every single one of them. And thank you so much for making this video so great. When we hit 20,000 views, everyone will get 1 week full access to my plays. Email missy@wagertalk.com, and we are oh so close. Do you know this song, Kel?
I've heard it. I got to listen to it a little bit more.
I hope the sound was good this show.
We're going to find out. Oh, yeah, I've heard the song.
I want to play upbeat music, but people are saying, play this, play that.
Somebody wanted to hear Pour Some Sugar on Me. I was like, yeah, I know that song.
Def Leppard.
It's like a stripper song from high school.
The only band in the world with a one-handed drummer. Did you know that?
No, but that's pretty awesome.
He actually lost his hand after the Pour Some Sugar on Me album.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't find a new drummer.
Does he have like a thing that he puts over it and he can still...
No.
He just drums with one hand?
And 2 feet. Sometimes he hits the cymbal with his nose. He's Jewish like me. It really sticks out.
Sometimes I just can't with you.
I'm coming down to Vegas in 2 weeks. We're going to do the show out of the studio.
It'll be fun. It'll be my birthday. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm trying to get Johnny to come, but I don't think he can come for Thanksgiving. You don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so you don't care.
Okay, so we're done talking now?
No, we still have 30 seconds left. So before your 40 minutes. We can be done talking whenever your heart desires.
Let's see how Kelly rocks. Rock out, Kel.
I'm not rocking out.
Do like
the headband. No, definitely don't headbang. I don't headbang. You keep headbanging. I'm going to stop the show.